Hey y'all, what's up? I hope you guys had a great day. So today, like last week, I have not really paid or watched Smackdown like that. Well, I watched most of it. You know, I have a child, and then tomorrow he has a basketball tournament situation, so I'm trying to get his life together. But I don't know. I'm gonna say this before I finish. I don't personally think the build up for WrestleMania this year is as exciting as it was last year. I don't know if it's me and I'm losing interest or if it's a collective thing because I know I'm not the only person that said that. And yes, stuff is moved around and we're getting build ups, but I think last year was a thing because it was 40. You know what I'm saying? But I can't even say that because I watched 39 and 39 was pretty good too. Um, I think because of the dynamics have changed so much in the past year, and that happens every year, but it's like certain people that were aren't being utilized as much, and then other people are being overly utilized, like I'm saying. If that makes sense. Like I feel like the last 2 years prior to this year, even though everyone's body wasn't in WrestleMania, more of the superstars were utilized. You know what I'm saying? Like we saw Zoe Moore, we saw Shayna Moore, we saw Natalia Moore, we saw well he's injured. I was thinking of some other people and I'm like, they're injured, they're injured. A lot of the people that we thought were going to like WrestleMania would be totally different if certain people were still, weren't injured, like Dragunov. I think he would have been the IC champion. Ronson, Talibate. You know what I'm saying? Like it's Oscar, Kari. I can't never say the girl name right. I'm sorry, y'all. Like it's certain people that you be like, dang, cause like certain stuff was going well, but then you're like, okay, now these people are, and then certain stuff, whether they were injured or not, it wasn't going as well. So I don't know, but I caught Raw, not Raw. Ooh, okay, I caught SmackDown. When I caught it, they were singing Cody Rhodes' song. He had the windbreaker on that I like. It gives very much nostalgia. And then Randy came out. They sang his song. London is one of the places, as a place where they had Money in the Bank 2 years ago. And I was like, they should have did the DBA for that. Because last year, what was Money in the Bank at last year? It was in Toronto. So I was like, Money in the Bank the year prior, which was London, was more lit than the one this year. Even though the one last year, I feel like the matches held up. But I feel like as far as the crowd goes, the crowd for London won. Okay. Um Speaking of, I'm glad to see that they're doing certain stuff back in the States. Like Backlash was in um God dang it, where was it at? It was in France last year. The year before it was in Puerto Rico. So that's 2014, 2013. 2012, it was, I don't know. Did they have Backlash 2022? I don't know if they did or not. I think 2023 is a year they had Backlash and Fastlane and Crown of the Castle. I mean Clash of the Castle and Crown Jewel and because instead of Bad Blood, I think they had Fastlane. If I'm not mistaken, I could be wrong. And then they had Survivor Series and a thing. Like one thing with the WWE, like I mentioned before, is they have a PLE every month. So when that's what keeps the momentum going for the writers. Because I'm like, once you feel like you're going down, you can't go down, but maybe like a week, maybe two, before you have to build it back up for the next PLE. So, but the main ones I feel like are like Money in the Bank, Rumble, WrestleMania, the Okay, out of the 12, it's about what? 10? Maybe 10 PLEs? Maybe? Is it 10 PLEs? But the main ones I feel like are the Rumble, Elimination Chamber, WrestleMania, SummerSlam, Money in the Bank, Survivor Series. And my favorite three are Survivor Series, Money in the Bank, Elimination Chamber. My son likes Royal Rumble. I think he said Royal Rumble. My son's favorite are the three at the beginning: Royal Rumble, Elimination Chamber, WrestleMania. So, yeah, no. Anyway, so I came out. They were singing Cody, then they were singing Randy. I think Randy had mentioned like he said he didn't know. He couldn't remember like certain stuff, certain dates for something, but he's trying to be, what did he say, a 15-time champion, 16-time champion? I don't know how many times a champion he's been. Because when they do his stats, I'm like, are they basing the championships when they be like 17-time champion off of singles matches only? Because I'm like, he got a couple tag things. I think when they show his accolades, when he had fought, who he had fought? When he fought, I forgot who's the person he fought. But I'm like, they show all his accolades. So I was like, that's more than, was it 15? That's more than 15. So I'm like, oh, speaking of accolades. So on Twitter, y'all know stuff shows when I'm playing. I mean, tweeting. Twitter showed that WWE is starting a Hall of Fame for matches. And I think the first one was like Shawn Michaels and Stone Cold. And I think that's one of the reasons why he's going to be at Vegas, even though I know he's going to be part of one of the matches. And it was like, who you think should be, what matches should be in the Hall of Fame? Okay. For me, any PLE Mick Foley's in. Okay. All of them. The stunts and stuff he has, I'm surprised the way he's still alive. Okay. 2, the Usos versus New Day, the first tag team Hell in a Cell match. That is a classic to this day. Like I tell y'all, my son watches that at least 3 times a year. Okay. What else would be up there for me? Oh, that's so hard because I was looking at something where I think it had Jazz Lita and, God dang it, who was it? Jazz Lita, I think, and Irie or something like that, 1 year for Triple Threat, and then like the next year it was Jazz, Lita, and somebody else. And I was like, ooh, the girls matches back then. But I would say it's been a lot of good ones this lately too, because if I'm going based off of matches that I just thought were awesome, if I watch it in like 5 years, I'd be like, yeah, this match still holds up. It will be for my son, it will be, was it 2016 or 2018? The Royal Rumble, I think, with Triple H winning the title. My son will put that on there. I will put, like, as a recent, I would put the Vengeance Day match 2024 with, he don't even work here for them no more, Dijak versus Gacy. Okay. That was just a good PLE period. Okay. And I wasn't even watching NXT like that during that time. Like, I watched it heavy when Solo came, and I found out right before he came, because I found out about the NXT people through the React channel, which I watch consistently. And then he came and I started watching heavy. Then once he got pulled up, I stopped watching. Then I got back into it. I forgot why. Oh, Cody and John and Undertaker got me back into it. Because when he had announced he's going to be on there, and they kept doing Undertaker's noise thing, I was like, this man gonna be on the show. So then they had announced John, and I started watching it then, and that's what led me to that Vengeance Day. But to be honest, before that, I fell off from it, and then I watched it again because New Day was going to be was going to be in the tag team match, Deadline against Pretty Deadly, and that's how I discovered who Pretty Deadly were, because I wouldn't have known prior to, and that's when I found out. I was like, oh, Deadline, their match is kind of like Survivor Series. I'm like, I'm feeling this, okay. The what was it, the Iron Survivor thing or whatever it's called. But anyway, so anything Mick Foley does, okay. If we if this TLC match, is that from a PLE? I can't remember. It's been so long, and I watched it live. That's the sad part. That okay. What's the match with Jeff fly off of the 18-wheeler? What match is that? Any match basically with him, like that match with him and his brother, okay, them need to go in the Hall of Fame. What was the PLE? What was it? Triple H versus Stone Cold. Was that a PLE? And he had lifted the car up on the forklift and flipped him over. Was that a PLE, or was that doing a segment in between? I can't remember. But I saw that in real time. I think my siblings and I recorded that on tape, and then it's some girl ones on there too. It's someone with the girls. I would say like Jacqueline being the first Intercontinental champion as a woman. That should be on there just because she was the first. Okay, like it's a bunch on there. Cause low key, I could have put up that Nia versus Becky one that they had last year when they came here to Raleigh. That was it Falls Anywhere match? Okay, because that's gonna be a classic. Any match that you look at and at the end of the match you be like, yeah, that's gonna be a classic. Needs to eventually go in the Hall of Fame. Okay, like it needs to eventually go in the Hall of Fame. Like that WrestleMania last year, Roman versus Cody is definitely going in the Hall of Fame. Just the ending alone. Okay? Especially when they played the Shield music and Seth came out and he could barely walk. He just needs to go in the Hall of Fame just for that moment alone. Daggone the match. Okay? Like, but yeah, so they were talking about, reaching their goals. He's gonna be champion and stuff like that. And he's the reason why 99.9% of the reason why sales have gone up. People are coming to filling the shows. We've had sold out shows, this, that, and that. That's what Randy told him. And then Drew comes out. So I'm like, the hell going on here? Drew always gotta stick his nose in something. This man gonna say, you want to be a champion, you keep trying to cry and get to the front of the line. And I was like, not you talking about somebody trying to get to the front of the line, and you complained 2 years ago and been basically at the front of the line for the past year and a half. Every time you fail a match or lose your title or something, Adam gives you another one. Okay? You done got a chance to, you didn't win the Rumble last year. Or did he win the Rumble last year? Did he win the Rumble last year? No, he didn't, because Cody did. But he won Elimination Chamber. Ended up going to WrestleMania. You finally got your live WrestleMania moment, because when you had it, COVID had hit. Got cashed in on. Okay. Had a rematch. Got messed up. Won Money in the Bank. Got messed up. You know what I'm saying? You talking about everybody moved to the front line. How many front of the lines can you get? Okay. If they needed an extra person for the bloodline, you would have been in Survivor Series. Like, had strap matches. Like, what? That's why when he said, I was like, ain't that the pot calling the kettle? Because what is we talking about? So then after a while, he was like, sent Randy over the edge. Like, we don't need you, for 2009. He was like, KO is right. I said, ooh. I said, Randy went red from there. He don't care about none of that, the other stuff you gotta say. Okay? As soon as you said KO, it went, because after that, he got RKO'd. So then it ended up being a match for later. But I'm like, now you know better than that. Okay? I be like, Wade be funny, because I like Joe has such a sports announcer's voice, okay? And some of the stuff you say, because his voice is so like proper and stuff for a sports announcer, it'd be funny, but you gotta catch it. But Wade don't care, okay? Cause he say whatever. And tonight it had me cracking up. So then after that, it was Pretty Deadly versus Street Profits. Some people don't rock with Street Profits new music. I like it though. Like I told y'all before, it's the same man that do solo music song and AJ song. I was like, y'all just gotta give it time. Like it took some of y'all, me included, a couple months to recognize Jimmy's song. Okay, and I know the more that they go out and wrestle or make appearances and do promos, and you hear the song, you're gonna know who it is. Like it took me a little bit to recognize Jacob's song too, because every time they came out the solo song. So I was like, who is that? You know what I'm saying? So like, get a man, like get him some time. Don't bully him into thinking that the song is bad and then make him change it back. Because who did that? I think they did that the first time. And I'm like, let them live. Okay? They got the black one. They say they mean business. Let them do their thing, which I'm so proud of. And I said, I know we in the UK and I like Pretty Deadly, but if Street Profits lose, I said, I'm gonna be pissed. Now, that contradicts everything I done said in past videos. Because I had said in past videos, I was like, Street Profits need a title. I don't care if they keep it for a week. They need a title. Okay? But I take it back. Okay? I just can't wait for the tag situation next year. You know what I think some of the stuff is not built up is because we don't have certain stuff on display. I feel like it's much, or maybe I think it's just me, because I don't know. I just think it's me. I think it's me probably. I'm more likely I think it's me. So I'm not even gonna pull because I'm thinking about last year's Raw event, and they had the two tag team qualifying events to compete for the tag titles. And I think, who was tag champions then at the time? I forgot who the tag champions were. It wasn't the Creed brothers. It wasn't New Day. It wasn't the Viking Raiders. I don't know. But yeah, like I feel like certain build-ups are not, I don't know. But Street Profits end up winning that. That's one of the things I didn't catch all the way thoroughly. I didn't catch thoroughly, so I can't give too much on that. I'm just glad that they won. Okay, and then so then Zelina was talking to my girls, okay, the party girls, about last week, and Kayden Katana was like, had we been there, like we would have helped you. So I think Chelsea's secret Hervice came out first, which is hilarious. And then Chelsea comes out and was like, clear for landing or something, she said. And then they was talking about how Zelina lost, and she was like, I may be small, but she was like, bootleg men in black. I was in that bootleg men in black. She was like, it took all three of y'all to defeat me. And I was like, True, because I was like, all y'all three y'all had to help. Um, I said all three y'all had to help Piper to help her win. But I'm like, bootleg Men in Black is killing me. I'm like, Zelina, y'all give her a promo. Like, even if last year she was LWO's manager, y'all kept her as that, right? Instead of having the guys do their own promos, like how y'all used to have like Ray and stuff say stuff, y'all should let her say it. All the segments and stuff. That'd have been worth it. Okay. I like she be quick with it. Okay. Um and then um what else? So I think they went to go look for something like, how about, I think Kayden had said like, well, since y'all basically jumped my girl, how about it be a 3-on-3 match? And she was like, y'all versus us. So I was like, ooh, the party goes Zelina versus Chelsea and her secret Hervice. When we came back from the break, it was just them two, which I ain't mad at, you know what I'm saying? Because I feel like they're the best tag team in the game on WWE. I don't watch too much of the other promos. I'll catch TNA. But like I don't watch the other promos. I'll be sleep by the time the one in Japan come on. Like, I ain't that dedicated. I like my sleep. And the other one I don't watch. Because I'm like, it's too much to keep up with. I like watching regular TV too. Okay. So who was I watching today? Oh no, that was the other day. When I was watching 7 p.m. in Brooklyn. So so of course they ended up wrestling. Kayden Katana went seat because even Wade was like, they moved like one person. And I was like, that's exactly what I've been saying. So they, and Chelsea to ringside. So of course she distracts the ref. And then at the end of the day, Piper ends up pinning, I want to say Katana, ends up pinning and they win. But I was like, of course, they cheat to win. So then Zelina comes out and helps. And Chelsea goes for her. Chelsea tries to go for the unprettier. Zelina counters or something like that. And I think Piper steps to her. And Zelina tries to move, but Piper is just a force. So that that backfired. What I'm sitting here thinking, because I'm like, I'm glad to see Katana in, but then I was like, I saw Naya and Candace on TV for a while, but um, I'm okay. This is me. I'm okay with wrestlers not being on TV for a little bit if they've been on TV consistently. If that makes sense. Like, if a wrestler has been on TV consistently for like 5 months, the dag 1 year, the whole year, if they miss 2 months, like they're not on TV 2 months, but they do dirt matches, I'm totally okay with that. Because I'm like, it gives other wrestlers time. Like, you can get other wrestlers in that spot and step them up to be shown. So like when I sat, that's why I was talking slow when I was sitting there talking about Zelina getting, mollywopped by Piper, because I was in my brain was like, now where the hell is Nia and Candace? But because I was like, we ain't seen them since, what was that? The Rumble. We saw them, I think, a week after the Rumble, but it's fine. So then LA Knight is supposed to fight Braun Strowman. And I tweeted, I was like, now watch Solo come and interrupt this. I tweeted that, and my brain said it's going to be Jacob. I don't know why I ain't listened to myself. Because during the match, when Braun goes around, do the little train jump, Jacob comes out. Is a force. Okay? Somebody was like, the way he moves is scary. It's like he's too big to be moving like that. Allergies here is aggravating at me. Sorry. He too big to be moving like that. And I was like, okay. So after that, you know, he come out, he's talked like Solo come out and was like, hey, what you doing? Like, you don't mess up the whole match because of that situation. LA stays champion. You know what I'm saying? Solo come at him. Braun. Jacob was like, y'all ain't basically give me no heads up when y'all decided y'all wanted to attack Braun. And Tama was like, but Solo, he said, nah. He said, bump that. Not Solo. Jacob. He was like, bump that. He was like, basically, if you want to show me, you want me to show y'all respect, it got to be both ways. Solo's gonna say, you better watch who you talking to. I looked at him like, bro, you ain't nobody's tribal chief no more. Like who? I've been like, who is he talking to? Cause you ain't talking to me. Like, go over there with that. Go over there. That's exactly how I hit him like that. Okay, because I was like, yeah, the table is turned. So he said, you either with me, and he went to Tama. He said, or basically not with me. And I said, he ain't with Solo. That's a double message right there. And he said, yada yada mean, and walked off or whatever. I was like, he about to break out by himself. I said, if not, they gonna put him and Tama as a tag team. They could add them, but I was like, he's definitely. We all knew second week. Y'all knew second week or third week that he was solo material. I knew before he got signed WWE. But people were like, it's time for him to break out. He's breaking out by himself. And I was telling somebody like the other day, like, y'all need to go watch his stuff prior to. And people was like, OG wrestling fans don't even need to watch it. Like, we know he's a beast just based off of what we seen. I was like, and that's not even the tip of what we like. It's awesome. It's like he got it. Okay. If everything and anything wasn't politics, as far as everything, whether it be like you working at a bakery, or you being a teacher, or a stay-at-home parent, or WWE, like certain people would be more popular over some of the popular people that we got. Okay, because some people on Twitter was mad that, like I had mentioned a couple weeks ago, that John ain't read Cody for filth. They let Cody have the last words. People's like, nah, Slim, you should have let John go there. Like, one of the best things about John, or the best thing about John, is his promos, and you just sat there and let Cody say what he say and got quiet. And I was like, and to me, that's what makes it feel like, is this really WrestleMania? Because I'm like, the John Cena that came after Rock, okay? I don't care if he was a face then. I was like, would have tore Cody up. You hear me? Now this man turned heel and he ain't got nothing to say. You should have more to say, not just to the audience. That's why I'm like, what the hell is happening here? Like, okay. So, yeah, like that's one thing I don't like. But so then Jackie gets with Jimmy, asks him about the situation with Gunther, the slap hold around the world. And he's basically like, I'm gonna stop him again. I stop him again. He was like, basically for my brother. My brother over here down himself. He know he can do it. Whatever. Awesome. You think Gunther think he gonna walk away with the title? He was like, it's gonna be all of us going at the end of the day. Yeet, whatever. So, excuse me. So then he's walking past, and the Miz and Melo are in the corner. I said, Melo gonna learn to leave. Melo though Miz is gonna learn to leave Jimmy alone. As soon as I said that, he was talking to Miz was talking trash to Jimmy. I forgot what the hell he said. Not Cody. Melo had quoted Chris Brown, which Bianca had did a couple months earlier. Look at me now, somehow. I don't see how you hate from outside the club. You can't even get in. Because he's talking about, I think they was talking about like defeating Gunther and being in WrestleMania and stuff like that. And now his brother is and stuff like that. So he was like, I'd have hit you or something. So as soon as Jimmy bucked, Miz flinched. So Jimmy was like, I got Gunther Monday. He was like, but you know what? Let me go hit up Nick and see if I can get you. I was like, yeah. I like, at least they showing Mello backstage. You know what I'm saying? Like, even if he don't got a match, like, he's still very much present. A lot of people like, bring back the Mello Andrade game series matches. I say, okay, I concur with that. Like I said, you know how every once in a while we get a Sammy versus KO situation, and then we get we used to get a Rock and Stone Cold situation, or like, you know, one of the triple between them, The Rock and Stone Cold, or Rock and Triple H, or Stone Cold Triple H. Like, we would get there every once in a while in between everything else. I like, bring that back with Mello and Andrade, because I was like, outside of that one, the other one I can't get no more, which was the Dragon Lee versus Cedric. I was like, because those were good ones too. Before Cedric went to NXT. And speaking of, matter of fact, let me go back. Speaking of the Party Girls, I was glad they was on TV, because I think Wade and them said they ain't been on TV since they went to NXT in December. And I was like, sheesh. And I think that was that during the trade? That was when did SmackDown go to 3 hours? Was that November? I think that was that then. So, my leg. I need to get this surgery done. Stop playing. So then, yeah. So before that, someone had put up that The Weeknd is doing a song for WrestleMania again. And I was like, I don't know what the hell kind of multi-year contract The Weeknd has signed with WWE. I said, but listen, okay, he getting money, he getting that bread, okay, because I think they said since 2019. So that's 8 WrestleManias, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. Nope, still 7. I don't know why my brain counted 19 as, I don't know. Yeah, I'm tired. And the sad part is I'm good at math. That's how I know I'm tired. But, yeah. So then they did a Naomi segment. She looked great. And I said, not her with a caution outfit. Okay. So they showed her thing and stuff like that. She was like, she tired of playing New Girl. She was like, people know how to treat you. They gonna know how to treat you. And more so in this video, it was her talking about Bianca versus Jade. So then towards the end, she went from crying. She really like a Wyatt Six type situation, sinister type, because she went from crying to wiping her face and then looking in the camera all crazy. I said, oh, hell no. I said, y'all got my girl Naomi out here looking crazy. People thought it was good because it brings out the horror. I think it's great. Like, I love Heal Her. Okay? I remember, I don't know how well it went for her because I wasn't watching WWE then, but I had binge watched Total Divas about 2 years ago. And I remember her telling her husband that she wanted, they wanted her to go heel, and she was like, she didn't like, or she didn't know how to do it or something like that. And he told her, he was like, that's the best thing. He was like, because you basically get to be someone that you're not. I think with her, with time in the business, and then also with her being in acting recently, I think this character is everything. Okay, we don't know where it's going to end or where it's going, but I love it. And I love the caution outfit she had in her segment. I love the caution gear. And then after that, they showed And I think she had new caution gear today. Because after that, they showed Jade walking past. I said, not her giving Kill Bill. Okay. Jade was walking past, and I think B-Fab and Michin basically told her that what Naomi did was foul, especially like B-Fab. And she was like, I see you can go handle your business, this, that, and the third. And Michin was basically saying she was going to go handle her business against Charlotte because Charlotte had disrespected her girl, you know, B-Fab. And Jade was like, basically, she appreciated. And she was like, y'all, good luck. Like, go handle your business. Okay. And told them to handle their business, Mrs. Whitmore. And then, so, Michin goes out there, and then she goes out there with, B-Fab behind her. And as soon as they get in the ring, Naomi attacks them. That's why I say I think she had new gear on this time, because last week she had on the caution black and yellow, but she had like the fishnet. This time I think it's different. Now, unless the fishnet is detachable, but and she came out attacking them or whatever. And before she came out, I was like, is Michin fighting? Because Michin had her gear, like her WWE shop shirt on. But what threw me is the shorts, because I'm like, are them jean shorts? And I was like, it's not just her. I was like, anybody that could wrestle in jeans, like her, John Cena, some of the Wyatts back then. I was like, y'all different, okay? First of all, jean material is heavy, okay? Second of all, then when you get sweat and stuff on it, it gets in there absorbed in. But I'm like, I don't know if I could. And then it's not as stretchy. Like, I don't know if I could do jeans. I don't care if they shorts, booty shorts, drawers, pants, a dress, a skirt, whatever. I couldn't do it. But I was like, shoot, okay. So after that, she got attacked. Both of them got attacked, and Jade comes out to help. After that whole segment situation, Naomi runs off. I was like, so not you doing all that and then running off after it comes. But my thing was this. I said, now we in this build up probably for them two to wrestle at WrestleMania, right? I said, what would be the twist and what would be funny is we do all this and Naomi wins this match. So then what's going to happen? Because Jade is trying to get, just like, she's just trying to be vindicated. You know what I'm saying? She's trying to get her lick back and all this other stuff. Naomi's trying to prove that she's pulling the Drew. Basically, what she said to Bianca, like, even when she's wrong, she's right. She only do what's right. So, Bianca, you should have already known that what I'm doing is not wrong. That's basically what she said. So, like, with her saying that, and then, all of that, I'm like, oh, you getting a Drew. But, so, after that, I was like, yeah, Naomi went away, and I was like, okay, you can't be talking trash and then running. So she runs up. Jade tries to help the girls. She walks after that. They help B-Fab off of the stage. She walks off. Charlotte's music comes on in the middle. The crowd goes crazy. And as soon as she says that, they stare each other down. I said, now this is the second stare down. They didn't handle Smackdown since Jay got signed to the roster. So when is this happening? Okay. Like homegirl been at the PC. She got injured. She wrestled. She done wrestled now in over 100 matches, stuff like that, since she been to WWE. Because I don't even think she wrestled in that many at AEW. I think she was 53-1. But like they said, all her matches ended in less than 5 minutes, and some of them might have been disqualifications due to somebody interfering. So, excuse me. So, yeah, like her development has been great since she's been here. I don't need that there. So then, Michin fights Charlotte, and they was like, that's an unfair advantage because Michin just got injured and hurt by Naomi, and Michin held her own up. One thing about Michin, okay, she gonna get it together real quick. She got a match, okay. Yeah, so I was like, when is match gonna happen? So then Jackie interviews. It was like, did she interviewing her nemesis or whatever? So Jackie interviews Tiffy, and she asked her about Charlotte, and Tiffy came at her with it. So she was like, she had asked her about her chances of fighting Charlotte. Basically, I think something like, is she ready? Like, you know what I'm saying? This, that, and the third. So Tiffany ate her up in the little segment with Jackie. I said, first of all, I said, Jackie's back. I said that earlier. Because I was like, I like Kathy and stuff. But you know, on Mondays, I'm used to Kathy and Jackie. Like the all-star team. Pat, Cole, Kathy, Jackie, Alicia. Okay? You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, where the hell Jackie been? But I forgot. It's hockey season. Like, I ain't been retweeting the scores of the Washington Capitals. I've been retweeting their scores. And for some reason, my brain, I forgot she covers both. So, all the hometown teams. And now soccer season. So now I got Washington Spirit, DC United. For the other league is DC Power Club. That's the girls' version. The boys is Loudon FC, but since I live in North Carolina, I like the North Carolina. It's not Courage. I forgot what the boys is called. My son is real big in soccer and basketball. So, and then baseball season just started. So now we also got the Nationals. But before we had a Nationals team in about 2008, we had the Orioles. So if you grew up in DC area in the 90s, 80s and 90s, you was either an Orioles fan or you was a Braves fan. Because DC didn't have a team until like 2008 or something like that. So I follow both. I used to follow Braves for a little bit, and I used to follow the Mets for a little bit. But that's when my brother, because I watched stuff, my little brother, that's when he was heavy into baseball before he ended up doing football and track. So, and speaking of sports, I'm sad that the boys is out from Maryland. But they barely won the last one. So honestly, I would like them to get in the Elite Eight. But I'm glad they made it to the Sweet 16. The girls play tomorrow. Now for the Duke, okay? Boys won. We going to the Elite Eight. Girls won, and we beat UNC. Okay? Girls won. So boom. Now the only other North Carolina team, which I don't follow because I'm not a fan of theirs, but LSU is playing for the girls NC State right now. I was like, if it's based off, I'm basing stuff off of, because I don't watch either one of them, off of their teams last year. But I also know that last year they had like Angel Reese and stuff. But I know they still got like FloJo and stuff. So I'm basing the thing off of, if I'm basing it off of both styles of teams playing, that should be a good match. Yeah. But anyways, so And we going to the playoffs. I think the Caps are in the playoffs. I think we are. But and that's my mama team. She loves hockey down. I ain't never understand it, but it's one of those sports. But so yeah, so Tiffany was like, she ate her down because she was like, if I lose, she's like, at least I lost to the great 14-time champion Charlotte Flair. She was like, I'm just a rookie. This is my first year being a main eventer, and I become a singles champion. She was like, but if she lose, then she went down the whole list of, I guess what Charlotte called her. She's like, she lose to a botch something, 1 year rookie something. And then she was like, did I get that? And then she was like, oh, toodles, and walked away. I said, ooh. I said, not you coming for the fans and stuff like that, reading them and reading Charlotte. But Charlotte's promo skills ain't been her strong suit, to be honest. I don't think it's ever been. To me, it's been her wrestling skills. Like if I'm thinking about the 4 horsewomen, I would say Becky and Sasha have both. I would say Charlotte has more of the in-ring stuff, and Bayley has more of the charisma and the mic skills. Like Bayley's great in the ring, but I like her mic skills. I feel like a little better, and Charlotte's great in the ring. Her mic skills okay, but she's phenomenal in the ring. But the other two, I feel like got both, like equally. And I didn't even watch them when they were back then. I'm talking based off of like current stuff now. So then we had a match with Drew versus Randy. So I stepped out again. I need to wash my hair. Wash the curls back in. Drew versus Randy. And I just know when I came back, because I had stepped away, I was reheating up leftovers I made yesterday. Drew ended up pinning Randy. So I was like, wait. Like, what are we doing? Well, at least Drew won at home. I will say that. It's not Scotland, but it's London, which is in the UK. So, but when he won, then KO comes out. KO comes out and he tries to pile drive Randy on the announcement table, and he tries to pile drive with Randy on the announcement table, and Randy reverses it, and then I think KO runs off and into the audience or something like that. I forgot. It was something Wade said. I was cracking up. And then also, I think when they showed the John Cena package and stuff like that, Wade said, Cena think he could come and win the 17th championship or something like that. He said he done lost his body. I was like, Wade don't care, okay? And then I think it was a point where when Joe had said something after the whole Solo and Jacob thing, and he was like, that is not somebody I ought to piss off. And Wade had said something referring that, and I was cracking up because I was like, last week, Jacob had said something, and Wade said, I wouldn't come. He said, I wouldn't even get on the plane. I was like, not you used to wrestle and you talking about you wouldn't get on the plane. Okay? And I was like, I feel you. I wouldn't get on it either. Especially not doing no PLE. Depending on the match. Hell no. I gotta wrestle who? You better find somebody else to do it. Okay? But yeah, so then they showed Drew in the background talking to a Grammy nominated songwriter. I don't even know who it was. Talking about they was gonna go to the pub after that or whatever, get their life together. God dang. I wonder how far Scotland is from London, even though they're all in the UK. Is it like 3-4 hours, or is it like a 45-minute drive? Where is the hair at? Y'all know my hair and my head be like shedding on my face when I put my hair in a bow. Sorry, y'all. But yeah, because I'm like, do he get to see his family and stuff like that? Like if his grandparents are alive, or his aunts and uncles are alive, or his parents, or anything like that. If his daughter lives here versus the States, like any of that stuff. Because I'm like, that'd be awesome. You know what I'm saying? Like you spent basically 2 weeks there. And even if you went to Italy one of the days, like it's a train ride. You know what I'm saying? Like you couldn't, like I would love to, you know what I'm saying? Like Axiom or Pretty Deadly or Piper or they got a lot of UK talent. Not UK, European talent. Or they don't have no, yeah, because they let him go. Well, I say Giovanni. They let him go. Um, Alba's gone. Alba's over there. Alba, Piper, Pretty Deadly, that's 4. Drew, that's 5. I don't think Sheamus is overseas. I think he in Nashville. Um, Axiom, but I think he was there for that day. And then Nick and I think that's it. Is that it? That might be it. I don't know. But like y'all get to see y'all family. The one good thing though about, before I continue, about WWE being as big as it is right now is the freedom of a work-life balance that the wrestlers get now. So because of that, me, if I was a talent scout, it would have to be hella hard for people to get in and get signed. Because the people that y'all look up to that's up here now, that's vets, like they said, worked 200 to 250 days a week because they did Monday shows, weekend shows, and then the one point in time when they switched SmackDown to Tuesday, which was stupid, because SmackDown used to be on Thursday, and then I don't know when the hell they switched it to Friday, but I know for a fact I think it used to be on a Thursday because I think we used to flip channels between TGIF. No, because TGIF Fridays we could watch freely because SmackDown was on Thursday. We didn't have to switch channels. That was right. That's right. So, but like they had to do, you know what I'm saying? And then the ones back then had to ride Thursday for SmackDown, Monday for Raw, and then they had probably weekend shows. So like it'd be hella hard. But like now it's just like they might have a Saturday night main event every once in a while. If they go somewhere out of the country, they'll have weekend shows. But other than that, like they don't have that no more. So after you leave on Friday, you can go to hell home. Practice and whatever the whole week, not unless they call you to make an appearance. Be at home, have more of a work-life balance. Like it was not like that 3 years ago when I first started watching. Okay, I'm kind of mad I ain't go to that house show in Fayetteville. What was it, last May? Because that was the last one. They stopped doing it after last year. And then I think they came, it was 3 locations I could have went to. It was Fayetteville, North Carolina, which is about 45, 50 minutes from me, an hour depending on traffic. George Mason, Fairfax, Virginia, and George Mason University. I'm from Fairfax County. Fairfax, Virginia is on the other side of Fairfax County. But we used to do field trips there when I was little. Like to symphonies and stuff. They used to make us go do field trips there. But like I know where that's at. Like, and I got family stuff there. I could have stayed at somebody's house. I could have stayed at a cousin's house or my grandma's house. Like when I took LJ to Smackdown, my son to Smackdown for his birthday in DC. I stayed at my cousin's house. I drove up there, spent the weekend with my family, and came back. And then the one in Johnson City, Tennessee. I could have went to that one because I'm like, I done drove from North Carolina to Nashville straight 48 hours. Me driving to Johnson, whatever, and then staying the night at a hotel and then going to like Nashville so my son could see his dad and leaving there for a week wouldn't have been an issue. Okay? Like, I'm mad I missed all of those shows. Like, for real. Because I heard the experience of a house show was so fun and that was on my bucket list. So now I feel like if WWE has one, I have to go to one out of the country. Even if they do like a 1 month special, like we're hitting up, these are the house shows where we have the most amount of seating and we sell the most tickets. Okay, in these cities right here, and they do like, okay, we're doing these 10 cities, and that's it. And I'm gonna find one to go to. I will find one to go to. So, shout out to Ricochet and Sam for having their wedding. All the people look pretty. Zoe looked really great in her dress. Sam looked pretty. Ricochet looked happy. All the things. So then, yeah, when Drew was talking to the singer about getting a pub, going to the pub, getting a pipe, whatever. Then he walks off. I'm like, who the hell? Damien comes and attacks him. On sight. No words. Okay? That's what on sight means. You ain't got to know that I'm coming. I ain't got to announce myself. Just know that when you walk and whether you by yourself, which is better, or with somebody else, you better keep your head on the swell. Okay? Because I'm coming. You don't know. I could be in the closet while you sleep. I could be behind the door. Okay? I could be outside your door at your house, ready to punch you in the face. I could pull a LA Knight and be in your pool like he did Logan Paul. Like, don't come over here. Like, keep your head, you know what I'm saying? So, what do you say? So they start, going at Damien, start getting them. Then at one point in time, Damien had put him through, he had chokeslammed him, I think, through the car. I think Drew tweeted and said that was real. He really got glass in his eye. And I was like, dang, Slim. Like, that's messed up. And Damien had put, what do you say? Rest in peace, Jack. I was like, oh no, not rest in peace. So then, I think I'm missing a match. Oh, I did miss a match. I forgot, y'all. So then they had, I think I missed the Jimmy versus Miz match. That match ended up being pretty solid. It was sponsored by Men's Warehouse, because I was like, not Men's Warehouse. I was like, first of all, I didn't even know. I think it's one at this mall that's basically abandoned in the city here. I was like, I didn't even know they still had them around. Okay, not like that. Second of all, Jimmy ended up winning that match. So, and he pinned Gunther. He's the only person in their family to pin Gunther. I mean, not Gunther, sorry. He's the only person in their family to pin Drew. So, I'm just wondering about this match on Monday. I'm more nervous for Jimmy than anything, because now the thing is, if Jimmy wins, it'll give Jay hope that, oh, my brother beat you, I could beat you. The bad thing is, this man been marinating on you slapping him for a week. Okay? When he slapped him Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, he been marinating on it for 4 days. Okay? He probably ain't let it process. That's probably why he smiled. But wait till he let it process. Okay? He been sitting in that for 4 days. He coming for your ass. You hear me? You better bring everything you can bring, okay? Because if it was me, okay, I'd be a little nervous. Them chops ain't something you mess with, and you light skin. I'm just saying, you're gonna be red real quick, okay? Um, yeah, we were talking about Miz too, about how people was like, certain people don't like him or something like that. And somebody was like, I love him. Like, he's been able to hold that gimmick for so long, and certain people can't even hold theirs for 2 months. And I was like, I like him because when I watched the Real World Heavy, I watched the whole season he was on. And then because I was still into WWE, when that Tough Enough came on, I was like, he's the first person, like I mentioned before, to mix reality with WWE, if that makes sense. Like, yes, Tough Enough was a reality show, but he's the first one to go from that to that. Before we had Logan Pauls and we had I Show Speeds and Katana, we had Miz. Miz literally went from reality show, which would be today's version of streaming, to WWE. And then he made a career out of it. And then ended up being on a reality show with his wife and them WWE movies, which I've never seen any of them. But then being the first two-time Grand Slam champion, so I was like, if he were to retire, okay, Ace, if he were to retire, he's definitely going in the Hall of Fame. Like, there's no question about it. Love him, hate him, indifferent. Definitely going in there. Okay. I'm just ready for him to retire. Not because I don't like him, but because I want him to be a commentator for a football game or be a golf professional. And I'm 100% serious on that. And I've seen on Up Up Down Down when he's played Madden and stuff prior to, but the way he talks about it when he's interviewing on sports shows, Seth does it too. Seth does it too. But he's so intricate with everything. Like in Nightcap, that time he was on Nightcap, they might as well kept him on and let him be the third host because he was asking Shannon and Chad questions, and they were not like, I'm a fan, this, that, third. It's like this man studied the game of football like they do and broke it down. Like, that man got a future in being a football analysis. Okay, if nothing else, get somebody on the line ESPN. Like, and I'm dead serious, y'all. If y'all know, if y'all don't know, or if y'all haven't seen it, go watch it. Go YouTube search The Miz Nightcap. Okay, because when he kept asking questions, I was like, I want him to keep talking, but they had to go. They had to have him go. I was like, oh man. It's only certain people that could do that. It's only certain people that show the IQ of a sport when they're actually on a sports show. And I love that. Like, I love the fact that you're talking about the business that you're promoting, like WWE and all those things. Like, I love that. And how you talking about like him being a part of Awesome Truth and all this other stuff. But then after they ask those questions and they flip it over to another subject, you're tuned in because you know what's going on. Like, I love that. Like, I don't want you to just be just like when Roman Reigns had went on, what was it, First Take last year or year for last? And they asked him, Stephen A, I think, and them asked him who you think was going to the Super Bowl. And he said the 49ers, and they laughed at his face. And later on in the season, the niggas went to the Super Bowl, and I was like, ooh. I was like, y'all owe that man an apology, okay? Call Joe back and tell him y'all sorry, because they sure did went to the Super Bowl. They ain't win. He didn't say they was going to win, but they made it, okay? Anyways, so then, while Drew is recovering from being on top of the car, Punk walked by with all the security. And he stopped and looked at Drew. I said, he eating this up. He find this funny. And walks past. So, Nick, I think Nick talking about they coming out when we gonna have security. If y'all don't get London PD on the phone, what is security gonna do with three grown men who hate each other? Okay, y'all barely get security together on Monday. Was that Monday? When they all was pointing to the sign, y'all could barely get it done on like what is we doing? Like why we ain't got nobody else? Okay, so then Roman come out. When Roman they showed me out the car, the pop was huge. Roman comes out. They play his thing. They go off. Then they sing his name like they sing in the melody, the same melody they sing Cody's name. So you know how they go, Cody, Cody Rhodes, Cody, Cody Rhodes. They like Roman Reigns. They was doing that. So he's like, he like it. They sing to him, whatever. Him, Paul's out there. I think Nick's out there. So then in the middle of him talking, my man Seth come out. Troy did his thing with him wearing the burgundy. Then somebody had asked who had better suit game, him or Cody. I was like, Cody looked nice, but Seth got it on lock only because he takes more risks. Okay. Cody signs it. Seth signs it. Seth's talking about how he went throwback with the Shield, talking about how we accomplished this, we did this, and Roman was like, yeah, we did this. He's like, but it ain't been us in a while. Like, we broke off, whatever. So then in the middle of them talking, Seth's, I think, one of the first person to sign it. Or I can't remember from his sign it already. Punk comes out. I said, no, when Seth and Roman was talking, I said, you can tell behind kayfabe that they are very much besties still. I was like, there is no hate in their eyes when they have a conversation like this. I said, unlike with the situation with Cody and Punk and prior to between them two, I was like, you could tell the difference in their faces. You know what I'm saying? So, like Punk comes out, Seth automatically sits down like, oh, here comes this nigga. Like he automatically sits down. They come down and they sing his name. Then they sing after they sing Seth's name, then they go back to singing Roman's name. And then they do all this Roman Punk is whatever. And then Roman goes, what's taking you so long? He was like, it's page 4, clause 5. Like, what are you doing? And he's looking. And then Pat comes over and goes, it's in there. He's like, what you want to know was in here. And he like gives him a kiss and stuff like that. And I said, what's in there? Like the audience said, what is it? I said, okay, because I want to know too. So he was like, you're going to main event WrestleMania. So the tears streamed down Punk's face. And then Seth is pissed. He's like, no. He said, hell no. He said, main event in WrestleMania is something sacred. He said, it means something. And there's no way in hell that should be getting WrestleMania main eventer. And just because came back after you've been gone all this time, this, that, and the third. So he says that, and he's looking. And I said, first of all, I wonder how Roman feels that Paul like kissed and hugged Punk, and then basically negotiated to him the main event WrestleMania. I said, how do you feel as that being your wise man, even though that was his manager / best friend? Second of all, I 1,000% agree with my man Seth. Okay, now we know this match and the match with Io, Bianca, and Rhea is top notch. Okay, them the two that people are looking forward to. But I still want to keep it. Whoever wins the Rumble gets the main events. So that would be Charlotte and Jay and them. But because y'all did not um hype those two matches up, Sally, the Elimination Chamber matches were better hyped up. I would have, for me personally, I would have trying to think. So I would have a bomb match to start night one. Like a real good match to start night one. I don't know. Maybe like Naomi and Jade or something like that. And then or like Jacob and Braun. And then the second to last match would be Tiffany and Charlotte. Okay. And then the last match would be um Cody and Cena. Okay. Um no. Trying to think. That's too much heat. So if I'm gonna do the triple threat match, I would want, that's what I would want. But because they're doing the triple threat match, I would do Charlotte and Tiffany and then end it with that triple threat match. That would be, so Charlotte and Tiffany will go before Seth, Punk, and Roman. But if it wasn't them doing, if there wasn't that triple threat, which they shouldn't have that slot, it would be them two, then Cena versus Cody. Okay. And then night two, I would have Jay and Gunther open. I would have Jay and Gunther open it. The second to last match will be Cody versus Cena, because we know something will happen with some OG wrestler. Okay, whether it's Mick Foley, whether it's Triple H, whether it's Stone Cold, it's because we know The Rock coming out. And the last match will be the girls' triple threat. Be only because it's been hyped up more, has more of a build. Like Tiffany versus Charlotte's match ain't really been hyped up, just like last year with the, Bailey and Io. We really could have this match on SmackDown. Like that's how bad the momentum is for it. Outside of like adding Jimmy to Jay's situation, to be honest with you, and like Otis for a little bit, like Gunther tormenting people, we ain't really had no much of a build up for them boys. Theirs either, but theirs is still better than that Charlotte Tiffany one. Okay, so we also had a better build up with Damien and Drew, and that was short. That was short lived, but because they've had a history throughout the year, we don't need that much. You know what I'm saying? And it was a good history. It wasn't like a match here, a match there. It was like you cashed in on me. Okay. Then I couldn't retain my title. Okay. Then you tried to cash in. I cashed in on you. Then you tried to cash in on me, backfired. You still ain't win. Like you said, it's significant events that happen. So the build up don't have to be that bad. But they now have that triple threat. And then I would have um yeah, that triple threat within that the girl, because the girls got a headline one night. You can't, and Charlotte just got back, so it need to be Bianca, Rhea, and Io, because all three of them have had great years. It need to be the three of them. Let's end both nights with both triple threats. Night one, the guys, because we always give the guys night two. Give Roman and them night one. Give Bianca and them night two. Before Bianca and them go out, let Cody and Cena featuring Rock have their jump. Okay, Cody and featuring Stone Cold or Mick Foley versus The Rock featuring, and then somebody on Twitter was like, I would like to see Seth and Roman get back together. And someone's like, I think they're gonna get back together if if The Rock attacks both of them, because he said he got 2 more people on the list, and we know Roman definitely one of them. That's probably in the number 4. The third person's either Seth or Cody. Okay, Seth will be because he helped WrestleMania last year. Cody will be because of the situation with my eye, Bad Blood. If not, it would be Solo because he dropped the ball. Because Jimmy wasn't even really there half the last year. He was out for 6 months. So it's one of the 3. He wasn't even there doing Bad Blood and none of that. So it's got to be one of them 3. Okay. Yeah, because I'm with Seth. Like, that's why I'm with Seth, because I'm like, you cheating Jay out of his main event, because we know Cody's, if there was another main event, 9 times out of 10, they was going to give it to Cody. And I was like, and then the girls don't get the main event anything. That's why I was like, even though Charlotte won Money in the Bank, give the main event to the triple threat. Like, if I'm being honest, out of those 4 matches, which I'm counting 6, because I'm counting Damon and Drew, and I'm counting Jacob and Braun Strowman. But out of the 4, the 2 triple threats, and then the guys triple threat with Roman and them, the girls triple threat with Bianca and them, then the Charlotte and Tiffany one, then Gunther and Jay one, and then Cody and Ja one. So out of those 5, I'm looking for most of the 2 triple threat matches. I want to see the Gunther Jay one, because I want to see the outcome mostly, and how they're going to either he's going to retain or Jay's going to get the win. Cena versus Cody, I just want to see I know it's going to be a good match, but I want to see the betrayal towards like the end or whatever. And who else did I say? That's it, right? Cena. Yeah. So, I don't know. Because if it's not Rock attacking them 2 between now and SummerSlam, the other thing will be like a lot of people are saying that Paul leaves Punk and Roman and goes with Seth. I can't see Seth having a manager though, because he do what he want to do. But after all of that, and him crying and stuff like that, and then Roman was like, "You need to acknowledge me, because now I'm the tribal chief or whatever." And Punk said what he had to say. He said, "By the way," he said, "that's not the favor." So I said, "So what's the favor then?" But you know how big of a star you have to be to main event WrestleMania, and there's no title on the line. Just that alone. Like, Seth is my guy. Okay. Punk's had a pretty decent career. I liked him before he left. Because I was watching real heavy then, like I told y'all. When he had the long black hair and all of everything. And Roman, yeah, them 3 are big stars. Just like, to be honest, Io wouldn't even need the title for it to be a triple threat between Io, Bianca, and Rhea. That's really just an incentive, because between the history of them 3, and them being just big stars, and Io having a phenomenal 18 months, like, they could have had this match without a title as well. But I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. I know Monday I'm staying tuned in, and that's because I can rewind and all that other stuff. We'll catch it later if I'm late. But they said time goes forward for London. Shoot, what time? Time goes forward for London tomorrow, if I'm not mistaken. Sunday, this Sunday, because they have their daylight savings at the end of the month. So instead of them being ahead right now 4 hours, I think they'll be ahead 5 hours. So instead of being 12 4 something near will be 5 something near now. So that means I don't know what that means. So if it starts at 8, that means instead of watching Raw on at 4 p.m., we have to watch it at 3 p.m. I think. But I forget that it was on, but I was out working or something. Thank God for rewind. Anyways, you guys, have a great night. I forgot I got candy. Have a great night. I'm exhausted. My eyes are heavy. I got to get up early in the morning for my son's basketball tournament. He has basketball tomorrow. He has soccer Monday. I think he has a kickball Tuesday. So y'all pray for me, okay? I'm exhausted right now. But anything to keep him busy and happy, and out of trouble. So, yeah. I love you all. Oh, and WrestleMania, y'all got to come down on these prices, okay? The cheapest thing in this whole situation, because I've looked for like my son and I, would be the hotel. The hotel was like $4 something. Like the tickets for when they first came out where we wanted to sit was $1,600 for 2 nights. So that'd have been $3,200 plus the $400 for, I'm gonna say $500 for the hotel. So that's $3,700, and then round trip for both of us to fly would have been $1,800. So what did I say before that? 37 plus 1,800 is 5,500. Then you gotta pay for spending money, and that's just the 2 WrestleManias. That's not counting if I wanted to go to GCW match or Aussie wrestling match or WrestleCon or the meet and greet or Hall of Fame. That's not counting none of that. That's just Saturday and Sunday. Okay, that's not counting what's NXT's version of WrestleMania. Y'all know what I'm talking about. That don't count that either. Okay? Like, cause all the that don't count Wale Mania. I wasn't gonna be there anyway on time. That don't count any of that. And then it costs $20 a meal just to eat. And that's the cheapest. And that's if you go to like Wahlburgers, if you get street food like a steak and cheese off like Fairmont Street or something like that. That's not including like one of these David Ramsey restaurants or even Denny's. I think the minimum is like $20 for one person. You know what I'm saying? And then that's just one meal. Cause they don't have continental breakfast like the less expensive hotels, which I wish they did. And then they don't have microwaves in their hotel now, unless I think some of them you have to request one. So, yeah, so that's what, 40, 80, 120. So that's 120 for one day for 2 people. Times that by 3, that's 360. So 5,500 is 5,800. And that's just for that. That's just for flight, WrestleMania tickets, eating, I think, for 3 days at $20 minimum. And flight, hotel, WrestleMania, food, I think. That don't include no extra stuff, nothing extra. And then with the prices like some of these meet and greets, I was like, y'all want us to spend our whole year's salary on this WrestleMania. Like, this is crazy. But, yeah. When stuff gets too big for its britches like that for me, I just bow out gracefully because I be like a lot of people now are saying they just going basically for vacation and for the vibes and to see their friends because it's too expensive to go. And it's only them going. And I'm like, and I'm trying to take a whole child. Okay? So y'all be safe out here. Don't go broke for these companies, okay? Because the bill will come up. Y'all gonna be in a struggle, and these companies are rich. You hear me? Don't do that. You can have a WrestleMania party. You can go to a bar and watch it with some people if you can't afford to go. Okay, like get the vibes elsewhere. Like I know you probably have FOMO, but your pockets won't be screaming. Okay, and your cars won't be maxed out. Think smart. All right, love you all. Bye.